Hey everyone, and welcome to part one of my crash course for first time home buyers. So, if you're relocating to Houston and you're going to purchase your first home, you definitely want to stick around and watch this video. And if you're a local and you're ready to purchase your first home in Houston, then stick around and watch this video because this is going to be helpful for you as well. So, in this video, I'm going to be telling you how you can get approved for a home loan here in Houston, Texas, or one of the Houston suburbs. So there's a few things that the lender is going to look at to determine if they're going to pre-approve you for a home loan. The first thing they're going to look at, of course, is your credit. Okay, so for an FHA loan, the minimum credit score requirement is a 580. For a conventional loan, the minimum credit score requirement is a 620. Now, later on in the video, I'm going to get into the differences between FHA and conventional, so stay tuned for that. Now, the other thing the lender is going to look at is your work history. You have to have at least 2 years of a consistent work history. It doesn't have to be 2 years with the same company or 2 years on the same job. It just has to be 2 years of you consistently working and being employed. That's extremely important. The lender is going to look at your work history. Now, other than your credit and your work history, the lender is also going to look at something called your DTI, your debt to income ratio. So let me explain what that means. So this is how your DTI is calculated. They take your all of your monthly debt, things like your car note, your medical, any medical bills you might have, student loan payments, all of your monthly debt, right? Credit card payments, and they're going to total that up and they're going to divide that by your monthly income. And the number that they get is called your DTI, your debt to income ratio. Now, typically, a lender doesn't want you to have a high DTI. They do not want you to have a high debt to income ratio. And with most lenders, they'll say they want your DTI to be somewhere around 46, 47%. Now, there are some lenders, depending on what type of loan product you're getting, they will allow you to have a debt to income ratio up to 50%. But that is what a debt to income ratio is. And that is going to play a huge role in how much of a home you get approved for. So the more debt that you have, the less of a home you get approved for. So a lot of lenders will say, hey, if you pay those credit cards down, or if you could, and that's most of the time, that's what it is. A lot of people have credit card debt. And so a lot of the times they just need to pay those credit cards off so that they can get approved for more. So the lender will tell you, hey, I need you to pay those credit cards down, or if you're close to paying off your car, go ahead and pay the car off, whatever the case may be. But you definitely don't want to have a high DTI because you'll get approved for less less of a house, right? So they're going to look at your credit, they're going to look at your work history, they're going to look at your DTI, and the other thing is lenders are going to look at whether or not you have money in reserves. When I say money in reserves, I mean having money in savings. And this is something that unfortunately a lot of first-time home buyers overlook. I get a lot of people reaching out to me asking me about first-time home buyer programs and down payment assistance. And yes, those programs are available, down payment assistance and things like that. However, you are buying a house. There are a lot of costs involved with buying a home, and home ownership itself is a big responsibility. You no longer have a landlord who is going to be responsible for repairs and upkeep of the property. Anything that happens in that property, because you are the owner, you are responsible for it. And so, as you're on your journey to becoming a homeowner, I really want you to start to be a good steward over what you have. Be a good steward over your finances. Start to save your money. Don't just spend money. sit down and look at your expenses, look at all of the subscriptions that you pay for. A lot of the times you'll find that we waste money paying for subscriptions that we don't even use. If you have Netflix, but you haven't watched Netflix in 6 months, you should probably cancel that subscription. If you have a gym membership and you know you ain't been working out all year, and we're in what is this? June 28th. You ain't worked out all year. Cancel that gym membership and start saving your $20 or $30 a month, however much your gym membership is. But sit down, look at all of your expenses, look at any subscriptions that you have, and start to cut back on the things that you don't even use and cut out those expenses, and that can be money that you're saving. But back to what I was saying, the lender does want to see that you have money in savings. And so even if you do qualify for down payment assistance, there are other costs involved with buying a home. And in one of my other videos in this series, Crash Course for First Time Home Buyers, I will go over all of the costs that are involved with buying a home. But you do want to have money in savings. All right, so I told you I was going to talk about the differences between FHA and conventional loans, and I'm only talking about these two loan products in this video because they're the two most common. So FHA is popular amongst first-time home buyers. The minimum credit score for an FHA loan is a 580. So if your credit score is at least a 580, you could qualify for an FHA loan. Now, the biggest differences between FHA and conventional are the credit scores that are required, the minimum down payment that's required, and the loan limits, how much you can finance with the loan. So with FHA, the minimum down payment requirement is 3.5% down. 3.5% down. And then there is a loan limit. Loan limits for FHA is in the high 400,000s, I believe in the 470s. So if you're looking to buy a home that's 500,000 or 550,000, 600,000, you cannot use an FHA loan to finance that property. You're going to have to use a conventional loan. So the minimum down payment requirement for a conventional loan is 3%. And there is a loan limit with conventional, and that loan limit is in the 700,000s. So if you're looking to finance a home that's 800, 900,000 or $1 million, you can't use a conventional loan. You're going to have to use a jumbo loan. So those are the big differences between FHA and conventional: the credit score that's required, the minimum down payment that's required, and the amount that you can finance with those loans. So this is part one of my crash course for first-time home buyers. Make sure you subscribe so that you can watch the rest of this series as I upload videos. It's going to be extremely, extremely helpful for you if you are a first-time home buyer. There's a lot of wrong information out there, so it would be best if you get the information from a real estate professional like myself. So go ahead and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Ask me any questions that you might have concerning anything I talked about in this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.